Welcome to another exciting episode of the Ad Files. And as
Yeah,
always, I'm joined by the one and only Daniel of Areas and the Nation and what other channels he has going on.
dude, it's always good to be here. Always good to step away for a little bit and just be part of this. So I'm excited to see what you got for us this week, man. I'm excited to be in. Let's do this. There's a lot of stuff we have to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
to as
yeah.
always.
There's a lot to unpack in this one. And this is our first serial killer.
What?
Number one.
Yes.
He's not
I
number
my
one, but he's our first one.
Oh yes. No. Who is there a number one spot? Is there a number one?
I don't know. That's quite a big
Yeah.
shoes to fill when you think about serial
Yeah.
killers. You know? Because then, like, you have serial killers kills a bunch of people, or people like
Mass
Zodiac.
murderers.
Well,
Yeah.
No,
What
definitely,
what
definitely.
point? What point
Yeah.
do they switch to that? Is there like a glass ceiling for serial killers? And then it's like you break through that, then you're like mass murdery territory.
I think mass murders is like in their own
Country.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like their own thing.
aren't serial killers in their own country though?
Definitely.
Interesting.
Definitely. I'd have to say
Huh.
yes.
Yes.
But we are talking
Okay.
about serial killers. A serial killer. One serial killer.
Who would that be? Who would that be?
Oh, this young bloke. Not young.
What?
Anymore, anyway.
A bloke.
Yeah. Oh, but before we go any further,
Oh,
Daniel finally got me these.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Care package sent by the
Sent-
legend Allie.
Sent and received very much. And I'm gonna try one right now.
What are they?
They're chocolate chip Maryland cookies from overseas. Chocolate chip.
There you go. How does
Well,
how,
I'm
You
just gonna
gotta-
eat it.
Yeah,
That's
you're seeing it.
that's what it
You're
is
seeing
now.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It's a chocolate chip cookie from overseas, Maryland, not Maryland, USA.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you one thing.
What's
It is a
that?
chocolate chip cookie.
Boom. Hey, we finally got some answers.
Yeah. Do overseas chocolate chip cookies taste like U.S.
Are they-
chocolate chip cookies?
Are they
Yes,
enigmatic?
they do. These are
Enigmatic.
quite enigmatic. They're
Yes.
pretty tasty. I'll go.
Heck yeah, man. You know what I've learned is like their stuff over there is a lot better. Like I know it's all they share the same title as like junk food, but their
Mhm.
junk food is a little bit healthier because we kind of have some crazy wackadoos doing our like what's it called, health the standards.
Yeah.
Like we slide in chemicals like no one's business. Like
Yeah.
what do we do with this extra chlorine? How much does the chocolate chip cookie dough have? None. Well,
Wow.
there you go.
It needs
It's
it, right?
It needs it.
No, but thank you very much, Alec. And also, these came
What?
along.
Yes. Allie, put in the comments what those are. I think I have an idea. I think those are Gaelic football. Is it football or handball? Headbands with our colors on it. Colors. Our Maryland colors, her Ireland colors, and I forgot the burgundy. Is the burgundy, right?
Yeah.
Burgundy and white.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know where that one hails from. So
So they're supposed to be
Yeah.
headband?
Yeah.
Well, my head's big. I don't know.
wristbands or mirror bands, rear view mirror bands, or that's what she said. So you can
No,
see
but
mine.
they're
Mine
pretty
are
cool.
like just strewn up everywhere.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
when I get my office set up. Yeah, but these are
When you get out of the tent.
Yes. So so today I am in a different location. I pitched my tent.
Yeah.
We have rescued at least two boxfuls of guinea pigs.
Yes, because
Yeah.
there's only 2 boxfuls of likes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, guys, the more likes, the more guinea pigs fit in the box that Av saves. That's the goal.
Remember, all week long I'm trying to write these things. Plus, I'm on a journey to save guinea pigs of the world.
Yeah. Their secrets need to be revealed.
Yeah, I have to open them up.
Oh my god. But yeah, man. No,
So,
it's
sorry for if I am eating because these are
no, you're
really
fine.
he's actually good.
He
And
can't stop. Just
yeah, oh
he
no,
just shoved in his face.
I was like, oh,
Crumbs everywhere.
nom, 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 nom. Nom, nom, nom,
Uh,
nom, 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 nom.
have you ever thought about how many cookies the Cookie Monster wasted by fake eating them? Doesn't it doesn't it break your heart? Like
Like you're really not eating them, man.
you're
Come
really
on.
not eating them, but those are real cookies, and it's just like
And he's just like this. And how
just
many takes does it? What if you just hear him like cut, 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 cut?
yeah.
No, not like that.
No, it's like all these starving kids looking at the television screen, just like here's this Muppet trying to
This fake thing
this
eating,
fake thing eating better than
pretending to
I
eat
am.
cookies. Oh man.
That's terrible.
Well, speaking of Cookie Monsters,
Oh
speaking
yes.
of Cookie Monsters, because this is in the same category.
Segue.
Yeah. New Jersey was hit by a 4.8 earthquake today at 10:30 in the morning.
Makes sense.
Yeah. There's a connection there.
Yep. Well, when you're knee deep in sin and the mob, God comes knocking.
he gives you a little tap on the shoulder.
Yeah. Still here, guys. Could take you out
Right.
any moment. No.
Anytime. It's coming.
It's nuts because the East, like that doesn't sound like a big earthquake. To ask someone from Taiwan that when they just had a 7.6 one, where their whole shit was like this, bro. I was like, what? Holy
Dude,
crap! That's an earthquake.
they're driving. Do you see the videos of them going across the bridge? They all like stop, and the bridge is going from like side to side,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
all just sitting there. Or that one video where the guy's in the hotel, like at the top, and it has a pool, and he's in the pool, and the waves are like taller than him.
Yeah,
and all the water's like going over the building on like to everybody on down below.
yeah. That's terrifying.
Crazy.
Oh, how did Pop Pop get crushed by a building? No, by pool water that just it fell off. He got hit by a massive raindrop.
Dude, it was crazy. Yeah.
See, like that's an earthquake. But over here in the U.S. on the East Coast, few and far between. So when one does happen, it's huge news because we don't get them. We had a couple in Maryland in the past decade, right? Or 20 years, probably. We've had 2 or 3. And when I say earthquakes, I'm like 3, maybe. They're like,
yeah.
Your pictures are like off. You're like, what? That was weird.
It looked like somebody came by and just kind of like tapped your picture.
Yeah.
Like crooked a little bit, you know.
Absolutely nothing crazy happened.
No, it's not even close to like a 6 or a 7.
No. It makes me like, what was that?
Yeah.
Not like that's a fucking earthquake.
No, not like hold on.
Yeah.
Like everybody's like
yeah. Run. I mean, that's the thing. What is the protocol in an earthquake? Do you just run outside? I feel like outside would be the safest place to be. Is outside, away from debris that could fall on you.
Well, I think for the most part you want to get like you literally want to get under a table, because if debris falls on you, it falls on the table. The table's not going to get crushed.
That will crush you.
No.
No. You know what? Is that from the same people that brought you hide under your desk during a nuke?
Duck and cover?
Yeah. No. I'm going to run outside and lay on the ground.
Well, then you have the chances of debris lay on the ground. Why would you lay on the ground?
Because I'm not moving because the world's shaking like this. I want to just sit. I want to chill.
So
let my house just collapse in.
What if you're laying on the ground and the ground opens up?
It's a bad Monday. Then I've been chosen.
Last Monday.
I have been chosen. Like that's it. And that's
you worked the penitent man.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I could step on a Lego at the top of my steps and just tumble down. And that's you know what I mean? Like, dude. But yeah, no, that's crazy. So anyway, East Coast, we don't get hit with earthquakes, right? So it's very strange.
Well,
I
wait,
didn't
wait,
know I
wait.
didn't
Hold
know
on.
Maryland had fault lines.
Time out.
Yeah.
We get hit with earthquakes. We don't get hit with massive earthquakes. No, we get hit with the earthquake. We don't get hit with like earthquakes.
Yeah, like real ones. We get
Right?
hit
Yeah.
with like
Tremors.
tremors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's
Hmm.
exactly what yeah, tremors. That's what we get. We get like the
Like
whispers.
with Kevin
not,
Bacon.
not the big earth. Yeah, we get hit with tremors. Like, yeah, no. Kevin
Hmm.
Bacon just runs out of the woods like, run, shit, shit. That's some serious stuff. Oh man, dude,
But
that's if I can just do some film like references, that has to be some of the most complete, one of the most complete series out there, all the way to number 8. It's just the funniest, most perfect, ridiculous sci-fi movie, alien, not even alien, prehistoric shit out there. It's beautiful.
I tell you what, I love that movie. The first
Yep.
one, I love it. I think it's a good movie.
Yep.
It actually is a good movie. If you haven't seen it, if you
Yeah.
guys haven't seen it, go watch Tremors. Come
Oh
back
my
and let us
god.
know what you think.
It's available on YouTube for free with ads.
Really,
Yeah.
guys, pause this, go watch it, come
Yeah.
back, tell us what you think. We'll
Yeah.
wait. We'll wait while you
Yeah.
do that. Okay,
It's
we'll wait. Don't
it's
worry.
it's worth your time. It's
Yeah.
awesome. It's awesome. I like the first, the second, and then when they do a prequel, when they go to the beginning.
When they do,
That's
when they go to outer space,
no. No, they had them in
they always have
Antarctica.
one where they go into like outer space.
That's always outer space. That's
Yeah.
like the ninth. It's always the 9th or 10th. But
Yeah,
but yeah,
didn't like
man.
Fast and Furious do it? Jason did it. I think Halloween's getting ready to.
Probably. That
Yeah.
makes sense. It always ends up in
Yeah,
space.
somehow you got to go to space.
You would think it would be better underwater. Just go down in the water,
Well, then the
'cause-
Meg would get them.
Oh, very true. The Sharknado.
Yeah, see, they can't do that.
That's another crazy one that
Blew up.
blew up out of
The first
I mean,
one was. I was hesitant to watch it. I watched it and I was like, oh man, this is actually pretty good.
it was hilarious from
Yeah.
start to finish. And they made fun of their own movie, and that's why I loved it. It's like, it's
That was the funny
perfect.
part. I mean, they knew what it was,
Yeah.
but actually they made it better because everyone
Yeah.
was like, we can make fun of it. They've already made fun of it, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
But New Jersey fault line. Who knew? Now we do.
Yeah.
Now
Oh my
we do.
gosh. And then of course, that's all you hear about all day long in the news. How this earthquake, aftershock, who felt it? I survived the earthquake of 2024. Like, dude, just calm down. It wasn't that bad. But I tell you what, if a big one hit, like it doesn't have to be like a 9.8 or anything like that. But if one like a 6 or 7 did hit anywhere along the East Coast, it'd be flat in seconds.
Yep.
There's like
nothing is earthquake rated. None of the buildings.
Actually, that's not true.
What?
Yeah. So when I was doing construction work years back.
Uh-huh.
I remember we were in a building. Can't say what building it was.
Yeah.
We were in a building, and when we were putting up our VAV boxes for the AC, they all had to be earthquake. Like what do you call it? Earthquake
Rated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, no, those kind of buildings are, because earthquake, nuclear blast, same ish.
Yeah, they're kind of like they're cousins. Yeah,
they're very related, right? So that those buildings, I believe, but like commerce buildings of just
done. No, if an earthquake, a good sized earthquake, like nothing catastrophic, per se, was to hit DC, Georgetown would be rubble. Because those buildings are so old. They're over 100 years old.
Yep.
They're so old that they would just collapse. They're like sandcastles.
Yep. Pretty much. Pretty much, man. But yeah, no, it's interesting to think about, because it's weird how lately, when I say lately, I've never heard of an earthquake in Maryland until we experienced one 15 years ago. That
Mm-hmm.
was my first one. And I was like, what?
And we
There's
did
a
have that.
fault
We had
line?
that little one. Yeah, isn't that crazy? We had the little one New Year's Day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. I didn't know there was a fault line anywhere near Maryland. I didn't know
Remember?
that at all because
Crazy.
my parents never talked about it. My grandmother, my great grandmother, people that have lived in Maryland their whole lives
But
never
you know
said,
what
"Oh
though?
man, we used to have earthquakes."
No, but you know what? It's like nobody really talks about it because I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know that because it's never really happened.
Yeah, yeah. So it's
You
just
know,
what what
and if
what
it's happened,
changed?
it's like once every 20 years or something like that.
Yeah.
You
I don't
know,
know. It's weird. It's weird to think about, like
yeah,
East Coast getting hit with all these random earthquakes, which is
yeah,
like,
yeah. And also, speaking of earthquakes, we had a hailstorm. It like snowed yesterday.
did it?
Yeah,
I wasn't aware. I was in bed.
yeah,
So, yeah, that's crazy.
yeah.
Usually
See,
when I
it's
see
like
a
the end of the world.
hailstorm, I'm running because what happens, as we've learned about in the tornado documentary called Twister, um, once hail comes, tornado comes.
They're not
It's
too far behind.
not too far behind. If it wasn't for Dorothy, right?
Right,
That's what they
right.
called the machine.
Mm-hmm.
They called the
Yeah,
machine Dorothy. Got
right.
sucked up.
Very Wizard of Oz like to do
Yeah.
that.
But
That's a
I'm
good
like,
reference.
if there's a tornado that hits, there's no farm drain thing to lash myself to. I don't have one of those.
Right, yeah. I forgot it at home.
Yeah, forgot that at home. So I don't have one of those. So I'm effed. I need all those fans and those windmills in the front, you know,
Yeah,
of that house. But yeah. So earthquakes, East
yeah,
Coast.
yeah. Oh, and one more thing. Uh, you're not feeling good.
No. That's why I sound like one of the fucking Beatles. Sound like my nose all stuffed up. My head is like all echoey. I'm like, what the? But the show must go on.
The
Speaking
show.
of going on, guys, yes, let's at least address the bridge that is no longer with us from our
There's so many things that are happening right now. We just might as well talk about it.
dude, dude, the bridge, man, the freaking bridge. Absolutely nuts. That had to have set the record for the quickest demo of a bridge ever. Like, when that happened, all I could see was one of those effing tankers hitting the Bay Bridge. And I'm like,
Oh man.
what would happen then? It's
Did you?
the
Okay,
Bay
so
Bridge is newer. Or no,
uh-huh.
the Key Bridge is newer than the Bay Bridge.
So look, I the I saw a video of like because you can see the cars going by, and like this one guy went across the bridge, and then like 2 seconds after he did, the boat hit it, and then it like collapsed. I was like, man, that guy's so lucky. But I feel so bad. Seriously, like man, I feel so bad because there was like construction workers on the
Yeah,
bridge. There was like a whole crew of guys just on the bridge, and I mean, I'm assuming because it was dark that they actually didn't see they probably saw the boat but didn't actually see like the boat because it was dark. I
yeah,
mean, I don't know, man, but I feel so bad for them, man.
man.
That was just unfortunate.
Did they ever get the list of deaths?
I
How
thought
many
they
passed?
I think they said six and some were still missing.
Yeah, what? Why do we do that? Missing. Like, what does that even effing mean? Missing.
I
We
guess
know where
because
they are. There's just no positive identity.
well,
Is it
they
because
don't,
of life insurance?
I don't know. I don't
Like,
know.
I know why they had to find the six construction workers because that's state. They need to
Well,
start dishing out.
I think some of those are part of the missing. Also, they don't know where they are. They
Really?
found two of them in a truck. I guess when it hit, maybe they were trying to get
No,
away and jump in
man.
the truck, and they didn't make it.
But yeah, man, that happened, and I'm like, the Bay Bridge. I'm like, oh my god, Bay Bridge. Like, that's just it doesn't it that was it was too fast. That shit happened too fast. hit it, and just, I mean, I get it. It didn't look like a massive, you would think a massive, insane collision.
Right. It's not like a
This thing happened at like what, 10 miles an hour?
who is the guy that who's that guy that makes the Transformer movie? Michael Bay. It's not like a Michael
Yeah.
Bay movie where the boat
No.
hits it and it like explodes and everything goes like flying everywhere. It was
No.
honestly, it was very like subtle and quiet. It just like
Yeah.
ran into the thing, and it looked like it hit it, but it didn't look like it was that bad. And then the thing just like
And just
fucking
went
fell. It was like
boom.
Legos.
I'm like,
Yeah.
holy shit.
Well, the boat was on fire.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I just, dude.
Yeah, no, it was
It
crazy.
shouldn't have. It one. I thought it was gonna take a little bit. I would get if it like warped or bent or slowly. Not just I'm done and just go like to do.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
crazy. So anyway, I don't think the Baltimore Harbor's been closed since the British attacked us. So yeah. So
Now they're
that's
closed off from the world. Now what are they gonna
yep.
do? I used to
Yep.
work in Baltimore. I'm so glad I don't work there anymore, man. It's like I don't have to deal with that headache. I know it's probably a pain. There's more traffic.
Could you imagine?
Man, no.
Could you imagine that has one? Let's when it happened, I told Holly, I was like, look, man, this is going to destroy a lot of people's lives right here. Not just the people that were on the bridge, obviously, and the Siamese people on the boat or wherever they're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Like it or Singaporean, I believe. And yeah, because the port's closed, that means jobs based around the port are done. Uh all the shipping receiving stuff, it's like one of the key ports on the East Coast is Baltimore.
Yeah,
You
which
shut
is
that
crazy.
down, you shut it down, you're done. All these jobs that are based in Baltimore. The only thing keeping Baltimore alive besides crack in prison, like only thing it's gone.
Yeah,
The
it's
only
crazy.
honest jobs are gone.
Yeah.
So that is
Well,
a
they did
death
the now
blow to
there's
a
now they
dying
need
city.
guys to build another bridge. So that's jobs.
Yeah, we're not going to get them from us though.
Yeah.
There's tons over there near Texas, Mexico that they can scoop up. So I'm just saying, man, it's crazy how that incident we have yet to feel the repercussions of.
Right. Oh man,
Um,
it's coming. It's coming.
it's yeah,
It's coming.
it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot of
So
industry.
everybody, if so far if you've been entertained, please hit the like button.
Oh
Hit the
yeah,
like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, please. So I
yeah.
mean, it's a lot of stuff coming at you guys right now that nobody else is giving you, but
No,
us,
exactly. Right now, up to date,
us,
as it happened a couple weeks ago.
right?
But yeah, what else? What else? I feel like there was something else that happened. Oh, P. Diddler.
Oh, whoa, yeah, yeah.
The
That's a lot.
the Rap Epstein.
Oh man, yeah.
He's
He's
done.
fallen from grace, man.
Oh my
And to be
god.
quite honest with you, I was never a big fan of his anyway.
But he was an icon though in the industry.
Oh yeah, I mean he's been around for long time. He was around before Notorious Big.
Yeah.
You know, he did helped out a bunch of artists before him. So yeah, he's been around for a long time, and I know he's like a very cocky guy, and
Cheesecake.
but the oh how the mighty have fallen,
man,
and they've
man
fallen very very hard. And there's a man, and they dragged someone who I thought would never get in trouble, who seemed very like a wholesome person, Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I'm like, whoa,
oh
what?
man,
Really? Him too?
Man,
and apparently there's a video of him touching another dude or something like that.
I mean, dude,
it's sad, man. I don't know how how that rabbit hole goes, but
if I was Diddy, I'd be like, I didn't kill myself. I didn't kill myself. I didn't kill myself. I didn't kill myself.
Well, I tell you, okay. I'll make the statement, and you've heard it here first. If he does get arrested, because I mean he's not arrested just yet, but if he does get arrested and things start coming out, he might pull an Epstein.
Yep. Yep. They are he's on his way to being deleted. I'm just saying. And but you know what though? That's oh my god.
Yeah,
Because if he goes to court, if it goes to trial, all the stuff they have has to be made public.
yeah,
So
yeah.
there's a lot of people that don't want that to happen. A lot of powerful people. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean,
I,
yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's other producers, other artists, other
oh
engineers.
yeah.
Every goes down the line. I mean, he's like pretty up there. So everybody that's below him has some kind of dealings. And
I
if not, it also I heard that one of those pastors, one of those big profile pastors, TD Jakes, has been
oh my god. Hemmed up in
implicated
it.
with it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Coming out as a
It's
bunch of um
hey,
I guess I don't
I
gay stuff.
I just feel like there is a cleansing going on, but it's not necessarily I feel like and it's because I don't put a lot of trust in the system when it goes after individuals like this, right? It just means they've been replaced. Management has been replaced. And Diddy was a loose end. Epstein is loose end. Now the same evil exists. The same people are going to the same islands, different island, different whatever. I'm just
Mhm.
saying
Yeah.
that the evil doesn't leave. The,
Mhm.
the evil will always remain. But I'm just saying the old heads in the game, right, in that terrible effing game, are being dealt with now, and deletes part of the trash with it. And not just because it's not like it goes anywhere, just new faces, new game, new places. That's it. You know,
Uh,
this,
yeah,
the
that's it.
crooked people do not fall with the people they go after. They are the sacrifice to the industry, to their evil wackadoo ways. You know, and so yeah, I mean, like we still don't know. Do we know the extent of the Epstein list? Has it been made fucking public?
There was a list supposedly that came out. Um, I guess people, not that they don't care or lost interest in it. It's I don't know. I don't know what happened. There was a list that did come out, and I mean, people were saying things. But
But
I
it's
mean,
just,
after that, is it that one of those things where now, um, we're this is happening to him to keep our eyes off of what he
yeah,
was doing
yeah, yeah.
and
I think I
any
think
kind
it's
of
an
new information
interference.
that might come out. Okay, interference. There you go.
I
Yep.
think it's interference. It has to be. It has to be because they were on board to keep that thing in the papers 24/7 until the whole list was exposed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now no one's covering it because
Mm-hmm.
it's not sellable, right? Which is wild. Or they've been paid off not to run it, not to harp on the story. So
Right.
it's like
Give us something else.
where did the list go? You know what I mean? It's like it
And
kind of
what
all
about
the
his
hype
girlfriend?
stopped. Yeah,
Yeah. What about his girlfriend? Where'd she go?
yeah. It's just all the hype around it stopped. People stopped
Mm-hmm.
talking about it. It stopped making the news. So people are like, oh, I guess it's over, but it's not. It's
No, it's
not
still
over yet.
there. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's still a lot of stuff going on with that,
yeah.
and I can't stop eating these Maryland chocolate chip cookies.
You're gonna eat the
Like,
whole thing, dude.
yeah, I'm
Eat the
trying
whole
not
stuff.
to. So if you hear a bunch of crunchy, I'm sorry. I do apologize, but they're actually not bad. They're pretty good, and they're so good that I just can't stop eating them.
There you go. There you go. The blame Alley. Blame Alley. But
Allie, damn it.
yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Uh,
Don't send me any more, but send me more. Okay. I mean,
yeah.
that
Why
sound
don't we
greedy.
sell those? Why don't we have those
Why
in
can't you
Maryland?
have these in Maryland?
They have the name in it. Damn it.
Yeah, that'd actually be pretty cool.
But yeah, man. Maryland.
Is it? I mean, well,
Lord Maryland. Lord of Maryland. Lord Baltimore.
Yeah.
Who makes it? It's not Nestle.
No, no. All right. Betty Crocker.
Oh, oh,
No, no. I don't
makes
know.
sense.
I don't know. I don't know who makes it, but whoever does, they're
Just
freaking
they
good.
add something extra to it.
Yeah,
Um,
they probably put that. Probably tastes so good because it actually has real chocolate in it.
that's true too. Did you know our chocolate is made with like an enzyme that's found in stomach acid? Like
See,
what?
this is me. Look, I went to Canada one time, and I went to a KFC. I hate KFC. Well, I'm not gonna say I hate KFC. I don't like KFC that much. Uh, People know me, know that I'm not a big KFC fan. But
Oh,
anyway, go to KFC. It's the closest thing to our hotel. We got some chicken. Open up the bucket. The chicken was like, it literally was like a golden brown chicken. It tasted so good. And I'm like, this tastes so freaking different from just, 10 miles across the border. That's like, and
yeah. What?
because they cook it differently, they have different, the ingredients they use is just that whatever
Yep.
we have it here, it's like illegal in other countries. Like they're like, we're not putting that crap in our food. And
Yeah.
it tasted really good.
Yeah. It's
Mhm.
it's crazy because across, I've been to the best like fast food places I've been to have been overseas.
Mm,
Like because they pay their workers fairly. They
mm.
actually give a shit about their restaurant. That's what it
Really?
is. It's like in Colombia, they pay their McDonald's workers the same wages they would pay their teachers. So like there's actual like pride behind McDonald's and the food is
Really?
actually very good.
The
And I'm
lettuce
like,
is probably like
yeah,
freshly picked from like behind the McDonald's. They have like a farm back there with like vegetables and shit.
yeah. And I'm just like, the fuck, it's like it's because it's different. They care and you can taste it. I'm like, oh my god.
They're probably all owned by like the cartel or some shit.
That's why they keep getting the fresh ingredients.
Yeah, like,
Or else
you
they
guys are
would
gonna
die.
have, yeah. Oh
Oh man.
man.
We gotta make the tourists happy.
Yeah,
So
we
they
got it.
keep spending their money.
Right, right. Gotta spend the money
Well,
here. Uh
anyway,
so
so
anyway, that's a good segue into what we're gonna talk about.
yes. Yes.
So anyway, all right. So on today's episode, we'll be talking about one of Europe's most infamous serial killers, Dennis Nilsen, who was also known as the Muswell Hill murderer.
The
And
what? The Boswell?
Muswell,
Moswell.
Muswell Hill murderer,
Oh.
as he committed his later murders in the Muswell Hill district of North London. I'm just reading stuff that I wrote because that's what I read. I'm just getting this information from.
Oh no, you're
So
good. You're good.
yeah, like,
I don't know anything about this guy, so I'm here for it. I actually thought it was Denise when we were taking down names. Kirsty was like, check out Denise. I was like, Denise. Like Dennis. Ah,
Dennis. Do they? Well, they don't.
Dennis.
Oh, D
No, they don't.
nice.
D nice.
Right. Yeah. So Dennis Nielsen was born on the 23rd of November, 1945, the second of three children born to Elizabeth White and Olaf Mangus Mokshima Shem, uh, who later adopted the surname Nielsen. His father adopted the last name Nielsen
Okay, made
after
it
they were
easier.
married. Yeah.
Made
Yeah,
it
because
easier.
the names are
Didn't
sorry.
really flow off the tongue. Yeah.
No, not really. And they were married. They moved into his parents' house. The marriage between Nielsen's parents was difficult. His father did not view married life with any seriousness after the birth of her third child. Nielsen's mother concluded she had rushed into marriage without thinking.
After their third,
After the third one.
Jesus.
So yeah, so the father didn't take the marriage seriously. Obviously, there's going to be issues.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure, she's like, cut the grass. And he's like, fuck you. And,
Yeah.
probably went and did other stuff. Yeah. So after the third child, Nelson's mother concluded she hadn't rushed into marriage without thinking. The couple later divorced in 1948. All three of the couple's children, Olive Jr., Dennis, and Sylvia, had been conceived on their father's brief visits to their mother's household. Her parents Andrew and Lily, Lily White, who had never approved of their daughter's choice of husband, were supportive of their daughter following her divorce and considerate of their grandchildren. So the grandparents were obviously they were okay with it. They're like, good, probably better off without him.
Yeah.
And they cared for the grandchildren.
Okay.
So which is nice. At least they didn't like blame the father and take it out on the kids, you know?
Yeah. True. They took him under their wing. Cool.
Right. They took it sounds like they were, at least cordial with the
Yeah.
children. Dennis was by all accounts very close with his grandfather and enjoyed walks and fishing with him. As he got older, his grandfather's health began to decline. When he did pass away, his mother asked if he wanted to see his grandfather. She led him into a room where his grandfather laid in an open coffin. Dennis's mother told him that he was just sleeping. This was a turning point in his life. In the years following the death of his grandfather, Nielsen became more quiet and withdrawn, often standing alone at the harbor watching the herring boats. At home, he seldom participated in family activities and retreated from any attempts by adult family members to demonstrate any affection towards him. Nielsen grew to resent what he saw as the unfair amount of attention his mother, grandmother, and later stepfather displayed toward his older brother and younger sister. Nielsen envied Olive Jr.'s popularity. He often talked to or played games with his younger sister, Silva, to whom he was closer than any other family member following his grandfather's passing. It's also been said that his mother, in some ways, knew that Dennis was an odd child. It's said she could be close with and cuddle and have the physical warmth with her other children, but just couldn't get that with Dennis.
Hmm.
Almost like she was repelled from him, and she was quite cold towards him. Which, I mean, that's gonna mess up a kid's uh a kid's life.
Yeah. Yeah. But as a parent, it's kind of like it's tough to approach something like that. When that happens, it's like you give what you get at some point.
Mm-hmm.
As a parent, you never stop loving your kid, but it's like how you love your kid changes. If it's not, you have to change your approach.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have two other kids, that it's kind of like if these two ways are working perfectly, what the
Mm-hmm.
hell is wrong with this one? Why
Mm-hmm.
isn't this approach working? So you have to do a lot of you searching.
Right. No, like not to sound. Well, I mean, she probably was like, well, these two kids are normal. I can talk to them. I can, hug them and, do stuff with them. Yeah, like you said, like what's wrong with him? Why is he so odd? What is the deal? He's like withdrawn. He was close to his grandfather. They could talk. They would go on walks, normal stuff like that.
Yeah,
But anybody else, from all accounts, it seemed like he just wasn't having it. You
yeah.
know.
That's mm,
So as Dennis hit puberty, he discovered he was gay, which initially confused and shamed him. He also kept his sexuality hidden from his family and what little friends he had. When he was 15, he joined the army. While he was in the army, he was the cook. And this is where he learned to cut up body parts. While he
what?
was, yeah. Well, I mean, because
Okay,
he was the cook.
got it.
So, you know what I mean? Like, so I guess, back then, they literally would have to like chop up the
So
meat and stuff like that.
okay, so this man was notorious for chopping up body parts. I assume you dropped that nugget of
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
got it. So this is
Spoiler
where
alert. Yeah.
what?
Yeah, well,
Okay,
this is where he learned, as being a cook, chopping up the meat and
got
stuff
it.
like that. He did learn how to like, he
Yeah,
took
chopped meat. He chopped
he
meat.
he kept that in his brain, right? So
Yep.
while he was there, he started to show signs of strange behavior. He got interested in photography when he would get other soldiers to pretend they were dead and take pictures of them. He still had hid his sexuality from his fellow soldiers. At the age of 27, he left the army and moved to London. There, he enrolled as a constable, but only lasted a year before joining the civil service and settling in the north of the city. Unlike where Dennis was from, London had an emerging gay community. Dennis did have a relationship or two, but nothing longer than like 18 months. So I feel like, You always have like that weird person at work,
Yeah.
you know, and Dennis was that weird person at work. And you know, and when I was looking a lot of this stuff up and reading this stuff, I'm like, how do you get all these people to like, hey, can I take pictures of you guys? Can you all just pretend you're dead? Just lay there and let me take pictures of you. And I mean, they did it. I don't get it. I don't understand how stuff.
Well, I mean, there's people, man, that just are morbid, and people that are artsy, and when you mix the two, I guess it's, I don't know. I don't know. Once you say like you're a photographer, then it's kind of like it's art,
Mm,
right? And then
hmm.
it's like then you connect with other artists because they get the art, the symbolism. Or I don't know, man. That's just strange to
Yeah, it is
me,
strange. It is
but
strange.
that's me. That's there's other people that are like, oh, death is beautiful, and it's like fair point. Life is also great as
Yeah,
well.
waking up every day.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, I get that. I get that. I understand. I understand some people's viewpoints. Um, and art is subjective. So I mean, you could spin it any which way,
very.
But
Because I've seen
I
some real shitty artwork and people calling it art, and I'm like,
yeah,
that's
I'm
not
just like
art, and
fair,
that's
fair enough.
definitely not for. That's definitely for another time. But yeah, I've seen a lot of shitty artwork.
Yeah, and there's always it always makes my ears perk up, like when I'm in a an office setting and there's that one person that's just not like the others, and I'm like, what's his story? Why isn't he talking? What's he seen? What the like I just need to know who to distance myself because when they do come in with the gun, I can dip out.
Yeah, right.
Like
You got
that's
to be friends with that person though.
yeah,
That's the key. You have to be friends with
yeah,
that person. You got to be buddy buddy every so often. Hey, you want to grab a drink? You
yeah,
know, and
yeah.
listen to that weird story that
Just
they
like,
tell.
hey,
Just be like, wow, interesting,
I'm
and just
not
think in the back of your
making it
head,
on the kill list.
yeah, right, yeah,
I'm on the nice list.
yeah, be on that list that says don't kill.
Yeah, like you just it's your penance. It's like, hey, whatever it takes not to have my name written in blood on his wall. Like that's what it takes. So,
Definitely. So his first murder happened at 195 Melrose Avenue. Now lonely and becoming desperate for affection, his lust for some sort of companionship will turn deadly. On December the 29th, 1978, at a pub, Dennis met a 14-year-old boy named Stephen Holmes. He wanted to buy a drink, but was Holmes wanted to buy a drink, but was unsuccessful, and Dennis invited him back to his house with the promise of giving him alcohol and listening to some music. They went back to Dennis's house, and that was the last time that anyone saw Stephen alive.
whoa.
Dennis was going to make sure Stephen would never leave him. Back at Nielsen's home, both him and Holmes drank heavily before they fell asleep. The following morning, Nielsen Nielsen awoke to find the sleeping Holmes beside him in his bed. In his subsequent written confessions, Nielsen stated he was afraid to wake him in case he left him. After caressing the sleeping youth, Nielsen decided Holmes was to quote unquote stay with me over the new year, whether he wanted to or not.
Holy
That's
crap.
yeah, that's what he wrote. So I guess he also kept like a diary, you know,
Oh my god. All right.
yeah. Yeah, he kept like a diary. He would write things down, and um, that was one of the things that he wrote down. Reaching for a necktie, Nielsen straddled Holmes as he strangled him into unconsciousness, and then before drowning the teenager in a bucket filled with water, Nielsen then washed the body in his bathtub before placing Holmes in his bed and caressing his body. He did other things over his body before awaiting the passing of rigor mortis to enable him to stow the corpse beneath his floorboards.
What?
Yeah. So,
Jesus. So he strangles the boy to
mhm,
unconsciousness and
mhm,
then while he's unconscious drowns him.
mhm.
Okay. And then waits for rigor mortis to set in.
So he like, yeah, he like cleaned him up or whatever. Waits for rigor mortis to pass.
Or
Uh,
not pass to get there where
yeah,
it's
well, to
stiff.
get there. Well, yeah, well, no, to kind of like pass. So, I guess at a certain point, your rigor mortis sets in, but then it like doesn't, and you're able. I guess he was able to like put him
Huh.
underneath the floorboard, or maybe it
Huh.
was. Yeah.
Wow.
Um. Yeah. So obvious because he was gay. He
Yeah.
uh pleasured himself
Yeah.
with him.
We got that. We got
Okay.
that part. It's not
Okay.
like you had to spell that out. We got
All
that.
right.
That's I think everyone's on the same page with that.
Okay. All right.
I'm just saying it's interesting, like the turn of events that escalated very quickly from like
Yeah.
zero to killer
Yeah.
instantly.
So yeah, I mean, hey, come over. I'll get you. Yes. So he bumps into this boy. And he's a young
Yeah,
boy at a pub. The pub's not giving him any alcohol. He's trying to pay. They're like, nope, you're too young. He's like, well, come back to my place. I'll give you some drinks. We can hang out, listen to music or whatever. And I guess that's what they did back in the whatever 50s, 60s. Hey, let's go listen to some music. Let's go listen to some tunes,
yeah,
man. And they
yeah.
did, and
That was it.
yeah,
Passed out.
and
There you go.
passes out and unconscious. He kills him, puts him in the floorboards.
Jesus.
So he's
Okay.
like stows him underneath, like the in between the underneath, like the he can like open up, I guess, some
Yeah.
panels in the floor and just shoves him in there.
Okay.
So Holmes bound the corpse, remained beneath the floorboards for almost 8 months before
What?
Nielsen built a bonfire in the garden behind his flat and burned the body on August 11th, 1979. And of course, this was just the beginning. He was just warming up, not even like warming up. He's like sitting in the car ready to go.
Wait,
Right?
I have so many questions.
What's up?
So this body was in this man's floorboards for 8 months. How did no one smell nothing?
That will later be told.
Okay, cool. Okay, because I'm like 8 months. I couldn't leave a hamburger out without it stinking up the place for 8 months.
Now, I'm sure people did say things, and he kind of would make up excuses, like
Got it.
most people would. Um, but yeah, I mean that's just crazy to me too. I'm reading. I'm like, how does like
Wow.
nobody? There wasn't anything. Hey, it stinks. But
Yeah. Wow.
so
Okay.
on October 11th, 1979, Nielsen attempted to murder a student from Hong Kong named Andrew Ho, whom he had met in a St. Martin's Land pub, and lured to his flat on the promise of sex. Nielsen attempted to strangle Ho, who managed to flee from his flat and reported the incident to police. Nielsen was questioned in relation to the incident, but Ho decided not to press charges. 2 months after the attempted murder of Ho on December the 3rd, 1979, Nielsen encountered a 23-year-old Canadian student named Kenneth, who had been on tour of England visiting relatives. Nielsen encountered Kenneth as they both drank in a West End pub. Upon learning the young man was a tourist, Nielsen offered to show Kenneth several London landmarks, an offer which Kenneth accepted. I mean, it's a free tour.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna really say no, I guess. And you've been hanging out with this dude. You probably thought, it's probably a little weird, but what the heck? What the
Yeah.
hey, man? Why not? Let's go
Why
do it.
not?
So Nielsen then invited the student to his house on the promise of a meal and more drinks. Man, people over there are like really thirsty because they're just
Yeah.
like, hey, come on over and have some drinks. And everyone's
Drinks.
like, sure, let's do it. Let's go get
Let's
some
do
more
it.
drinks. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I bet this changed that for a lot of
Uh,
people.
Probably. um, and I'm only assuming like in the gay community because obviously because he was gay and he was going after men.
Yeah.
So the pair stopped at a local liquor store en route to Nielsen's house and purchased whiskey, rum, and some beer, with Kenneth insisting on sharing the bill. Nielsen was adamant he could not recall the precise amount or precise moment, he strangled Kenneth, but he recalled that he strangled the young man with the cord of the. So I guess when they were listening to music, Nielsen strangled him with the cord, with the
Wow.
headphone from the headphones, right? So as Kenneth was listening to music, So they're both listening, they're sitting there listening to music, and then they're like jamming out or whatever. And he's
And then
like,
you just
check, wait for this part. Wait, it's coming up. It's coming up. And then he like goes behind him and like strangles him.
Jesus.
Right. I mean, that's like uh, that's gotta suck, man. I mean,
Yeah.
that's gotta be like one of the not a fun
Oh
way
my
to go.
god.
Because you're just sitting there and you're like, man, this guy's pretty cool. I'm like hanging out with him,
Yeah, we're
you
listening to
know,
tunes, getting
yeah.
drunk. All right.
And comes up behind you and strangles you. And
Jesus.
ugh. um he also recalled dragging Kenneth across his floor with the wire wrapped around his neck as he strangled him before pouring himself a half glass of rum and continuing to listen to music on the headphones with which he had strangled Kenneth with. The following day, Nilsen purchased a Polaroid camera and photographed Kenneth's body in various suggestive positions. He then laid Kenneth's corpse spread eagle above him on his bed as he watched television for several hours before wrapping the body in plastic bags and stowing the corpse beneath the floorboards again. So I guess that's like his go-to where he puts them. Um,
Wow.
yeah. On approximately 4 occasions over the following days, Nielsen took Kenneth's body from beneath his floorboards and seated the body upon his armchair alongside him as he himself watched television and drank alcohol. So, man, God, this guy,
Is he snapped. Some just that day just boom and done.
yeah. So it's like you have something new and you just can't stop looking at it, and he just kept taking it out, putting it up, and putting it in
Oh
the
my
chair,
god.
sitting there watching TV with this thing next to you, like, oh man.
Jesus.
Yeah. So this was something Dennis would continue to do with the bodies. He washed them, dried them, and dressed them, and he would have them sit with him as he watched TV and had a drink. Nielsen killed his third victim, 16-year-old Martin Duffy, who hitchhiked to London without his parents knowing. Duffy had been sleeping at the train station when Dennis ran into him. Dennis struck up a conversation with him and invited him back to his place with the promise of food, warm bread, and a warm bed for the night. Duffy just couldn't resist. After he fell asleep in Nielsen's bed, Dennis got on top of him, sitting on his chest, and strangled him till he was unconscious. Then he dragged him to the kitchen and drowned him in the sink.
Jeez.
He did other things to the body after he had killed him, and Dennis would keep him in a cupboard until he began to bloat and then put him on the floorboard.
Wow. So okay. That what how deep I can't visualize the floorboards. What? I'm just trying to think of how big are these floorboards? Like
So
what in the world?
So what I'm thinking, okay, when I'm going through this, I was thinking the same exact thing. I'm like, the floorboards, like what kind of houses do they have over there? So then I'm thinking, oh, so just imagine your living room, all wood floors. He
Uh-huh.
probably was just taking up pieces of the wood floor and just like putting them like next to each other, you know?
What? What do you mean?
Well, like it's so deep, right?
Yeah.
You could probably stick a body in there. So what he would do is like take a part of the floor, put one body in, cover it up, take another part of
Oh,
the floor
like
out.
running on the joists,
Yeah,
like in
yeah,
between the joists.
yeah, something like that.
Damn,
Again,
dude.
I don't know how they build their houses
That's
over there, but
okay.
I'm thinking that.
But then that's still insane amount of noise. The neighbor's like, man, this guy's doing a ton of shit. I'm not seeing him buy nothing.
Right. He never goes to Home Depot and brings a bunch of guys with him. There's a lot of noise
Yeah,
up there.
yeah. Oh, the guys come in. They never leave.
Yeah, they really like it there.
Man, they've been working on projects for a long time.
What's that
Jesus.
smell?
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, so I mean that's just what I was that's my guess. You know?
Mm.
So after Dennis had killed Duffy, he began to kill more frequently. Before the end of 1980, he killed a further 5 more victims and attempted to murder one other. Only one of these victims who Nielsen murdered, 26-year-old William Sutherland, has ever been identified. Nielsen's recollection, man, I can't.
Wow.
recollection of this
Recollection. Recollection.
of this
God.
unidentified victims were vague, but he graphically recalled how each victim had been murdered and just how long he kept the body before disposing of it.
So this wasn't ramping up. This whole thing this was just like a casual. How many people has it been since he killed the bus stop boy?
So what are we, like 5 or something like that?
5, but one got away.
One got away. The Asian kid got away, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of like losing count too because there's a lot. There's a
That's
lot.
so. I think that's 4 so far.
Okay, yeah,
5 attempts, 4 murders.
okay,
Right.
something like that.
So man,
Well,
could you
and then
imagine
he
how that dude felt that got away and read about this? Like, holy shit.
right. Well, he did kill 5 more victims, um, but only one was identified.
Oh my god. So
Right.
he's at 9 bodies right
Yeah.
now?
So it's something like that. Yeah.
Good god, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing. What I never understood is how does one guy get away? Okay. He goes and tells the police, and then it's just like, nah, don't worry about it. Don't worry. It was nothing. He was just eager.
Well, because remember, all he would have to say, make him feel uncomfortable saying, gay stuff and how it was back then. It's like, oh, we don't want to touch this. We don't want to touch this. And
Right.
they're like,
Right.
okay, fine.
Yeah.
And just
Good
like
point. Yeah.
let it go. We don't want to touch this at all. So,
Right. Good point. Good point.
and so they probably brushed that off. Like, yeah, let's just not talk about that. Not knowing this man was amassing skeletons in his floorboards.
All the people that are up there with him. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. So after a while, the bodies under the floorboard began to attract insects and bugs and emit a foul odor. And that's what you were talking about.
Oh, okay.
Especially during the summer months.
Yeah.
On the times Dennis would take one of his victims from under the floorboard, he noticed that they were covered with some type of pupa and infested with maggots. I mean,
Ugh. Yeah.
man, I don't understand. I don't understand how these people function,
Yeah.
to do something like this because it's like it's. I mean, there's just all this stuff like maggots and stuff. I mean, I couldn't. I don't. It's
Yeah.
gross.
No.
It's
No.
gross.
And plus, you're inhaling like like the
The vapors,
rotting
right? Yeah,
vapors of a dead human. Like you're inhaling that.
the gases, right?
Yeah.
We actually have like poisonous gases or like toxic
There's
gases that are in
something
us.
like that. Like you're
Yeah,
inhaling that shit. And I'm like, yeah. Like, oh, my thing is just be a tidy person. If you're gonna kill that many people, dump them in the garden, burn them. He probably had too many people lined up in the conveyor belt of at the bonfire. He was probably the biggest hit. It's like, man, that guy has been having a bonfire for like a year now straight.
yeah. He's kind of a jerk. He's not inviting us to this bonfire that he keeps having.
Yeah,
I don't want to go to that bonfire though. Imagine. Ugh.
that's crazy.
So, to try and get rid of the smell, he would lay deodorant around the apartment and spray insecticide up to twice daily. In late 1980, Nielsen removed and cut up the bodies of each victim killed since December 79 and burned them upon a communal bonfire he had constructed on waste ground behind his flat. So, to disguise the smell of burning flesh of the 6 bodies placed upon this in this bonfire, Nielsen put old car tires there to cover up the smell. So
Okay,
so he would put the bodies in there, and then he would like throw some tires on top to cover up the smell. So you would
you just see rubber. Yeah, just like,
get the
oh,
burn of rubber. Yeah, everyone,
yeah,
that's a disgusting smell too. But
yeah,
you're I guess it helped because nobody said anything.
yeah.
Unless everyone was just like, Dennis is out there, crazy Dennis is out there doing his thing.
Smells like rubber and bodies.
All right, yeah. Not a good mix.
No, damn.
Yes. So, 3 neighborhood children stood to watch this particular bonfire, and Nielsen later wrote in his memoirs that he felt it would have seemed, quote unquote, in order if he had seen these 3 children dancing around a mass funeral pyre. When the bonfire had been reduced to ash and cinders, Nielsen used a rake to search the debris for any recognizable bones. He noticed a skull was still intact, so he smashed it to pieces with his rake. Crazy. January 1981, Dennis encountered an unidentified 18-year-old Scott at the Golden Lion pub. He was lured to Melrose Avenue upon the promise of partaking in a drinking contest. I guess because he was Scottish and drinking,
Yeah.
whatever. After Nielsen and this victim had a few drinks, Nielsen strangled him with a tie and subsequently placed the body beneath his floorboards. So, man, this guy's got. Well, I guess he got rid of everybody. There's nobody in there anymore,
Yeah.
so he needed something in
Yeah.
there. Nielsen is known to have informed his employers he was ill and unable to attend work on the 12th of January, so that he could cut up both of his victims and another unidentified victim he had killed approximately 1 month earlier.
What?
By April, Nilsen had killed 2 further unidentified men. Dude, this guy's on a roll.
God.
One of whom he described as an English skinhead. The other was in his early 20s, who he described as a Belfast boy, because he was from Belfast, apparently.
What?
Who he killed in early February. The following month, Nielsen removed the internal organs of several victims, stowed them beneath his floorboards. He described these. He discarded. Sorry, I described these. Yeah, they're guts. He discarded these upon the waste ground behind his flat, and he tried to get rid of the rest by putting them in the trash. The last victim he would murder at his Melrose Avenue apartment was 23-year-old Malcolm Barlow, whom Nielsen discovered slumped against a wall outside his home on September 17th, 1981. When Nielsen inquired as to Barlow's welfare, he was informed that medication Barlow was prescribed for his epilepsy had caused his legs to weaken. Nielsen suggested that Barlow should be in a hospital and supporting him, walked him into his residence before phoning for an ambulance. The following day, Barlow was released from the hospital and returned to Nielsen's home, apparently to thank him. He was invited in, and after eating a meal, began drinking
What?
rum and coke before falling asleep on the sofa.
Oh, so wait. Nielsen actually saved this guy's life just to have
Yeah.
him get turned around and then kill him. Well,
Right.
isn't that some shit?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that guy Barlow was just like, damn it.
Oh my god. What the
What a
shit?
crazy, man, he could have got away. He helped him.
Yeah. There's 2 that have escaped.
Yeah. Well, one of them, like, I guess he like fought him off and escaped.
Yeah.
The other one, like, he was just slumped. He was there and he picked him up and was like, I'll take you to the hospital. I'll call an ambulance for you.
Oh my god.
And he came back on his own to say thanks.
Bro, it's so terrible because that's the nice thing to do is to say thank you.
Yeah.
And then you're just dead.
Well,
Now,
I mean, he's also like, hey, want to come in and have a couple drinks? And he's like, yeah, sure, why not? Like, it's
Yeah.
like, that's all he says to everybody. Want to come in and have a drink? And everyone's like, yeah, let's do it.
yeah, murdered.
Oh,
Serial
man.
murdered. Now,
Yeah.
how many? So, okay, I guess I'll ask this at the end.
We need it. We need like a
tally
a toll-
counter. Hey,
yeah, like at the bottom.
so this is the last at this residence, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. So he put in serious work at this residence.
Yeah. So there was a lot
Jeez.
of, yeah. So Nielsen strangled Barlow as he slept before putting his body beneath his kitchen sink the following morning. In mid 1981, Nielsen's landlord decided to renovate 195 Melrose Avenue and asked Nielsen to vacate the property. And Nielsen was initially resistant to the proposal, but accepted an offer of £1,000 from the landlord to vacate the apartment. He moved into an attic flat at 23D Cranley Gardens in the Muswell Hill district of North London on the 5th of October, 1981. The day before he vacated the property, Nielsen burned the bodies of the last 5 victims he had killed at this address upon a third and final bonfire he constructed in the garden behind his flat. Again, Nielsen ensured the bonfire. Um, he placed car tires in the bonfire to disguise the smell of burning flesh. Nielsen
Wow.
had a yeah. So and also at this time, he obviously he had already cut up the bodies, the victims.
Wow.
Yeah, that yeah. So he only needed only get rid of Barlow for this third bonfire. So really, it was just like one other person, whatever. But anyway, he killed this guy and burned the body.
Wow.
And that's we'll end this episode. This is part one.
What?
Yeah, so
Dude,
there's still more to come. There's a lot for this guy, man. I mean,
those are like that's double digit bodies right there.
yeah, quickly,
Has to be.
quickly, you know?
Quickly. He did a
Yeah,
lot of work in like a month.
yeah. So this guy stayed busy, man. This guy stayed busy.
How does he manage? I want to know, do you ever find out what he did? What was his job?
You know, I can look that up. I know that they said there was a part that said that he would call out sick.
A lot.
And then when the cops would investigate, they would say, well, so when did he not go to work? Oh, I didn't go to work on, October 11th and 12th. And they're like, oh, this guy disappeared on this day when you
You're
weren't
like,
at work, or like
interesting.
the day before. And so he would call out and, chop the bodies up the next day when he would, stay home.
All right. Wow, man. Well, I can't wait because there's this. That's so like, that's nuts, man.
Yeah.
That's nuts. That's so busy. So
Yeah.
busy.
And I
So
mean, people
busy.
who have heard of this guy know that, I mean, he's just like, it's just getting started. He's like halfway done.
What?
Yeah.
Is he the most notorious in the
No.
UK?
Oh, in the UK? Maybe. No, I don't think he's the most notorious. No.
Well, no. Okay, no. Notoriety is notoriety goes to Jack the Ripper, right? That's
Yeah.
notoriety.
Oh
That's
my
like
gosh.
stuff of
Yeah.
legends, right?
Mhm.
But this is up there in the top 5,
I mean,
possibly,
that's
right?
possible. Yeah. I mean, there's other people that you know
Yeah,
people know about over there. You know.
man. Well,
Um,
let us know in the comments, guys, under this. Like, what have you guys? Do you guys know of this person? Probably. But if there was like, oh my god, these are the serial killers of the UK. What are the 3 most or 4 most infamous serial killers across the pond? You know,
mhm.
but yeah, no, this was good, man. This
Yeah.
was good. I can't wait for part 2, man.
Yeah. This is. I mean, yeah, because this is a lot. So. Um,
Let us know if you like this
oh
kind of
yeah,
stuff,
and
guys.
any information that I do miss, if you can add to it, guys, yeah, just drop it in the comments, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You
We
know,
read those and we try to do our best to include any little bit of info that you guys you know drop our way. So
yeah, definitely. But we appreciate it, and don't forget, hey, if you guys are being entertained, you're laughing a little bit, hey, thumbs up,
yep,
thumbs
yep,
up always helps.
always. But no, man, this is a good one. It's an interesting episode because we haven't had one of these yet.
Right? Yeah,
It's like
and
it's serious. It's a serious subject matter,
mm-hmm.
and we default to our comedy a lot, but at the same time it's like, damn, how is the theme music going to go on this one?
I don't know. Uh, same as any. It is what
Oh,
it is, man.
it is what it is. We can't change the theme song. We cannot change the theme song.
Yeah, we don't have like a slower version.
No, we can't.
We,
I think
that's what we should have. Like
a
we should have
sad
like
version.
an acoustic version.
An acoustic version.
That actually would be
Oh my
pretty. That
god,
actually would
that'd
be
be
pretty
great.
funny.
That would be
Yeah,
great. That would
but
be great.
hey, thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for listening, and please come back for part 2 next time. Again,
Yes.
don't forget to hit that like button.
What?
Hit it again and again. Oh yeah, again and again. And
Yes.
thank you, Daniel. Again,
Of course,
shout out
man.
your
Thank you
channels, all your
thank you, thank
channels.
you. Thank you for having me on. Yes, I'm part of a lot of channels. So many. So many. I can't even begin to list them. But and I will not try. But yes, Aries in the Nation is my main one. Embrace the Suck 21 is my other main one. And Embrace the Glow 21 is my other main one. So
And
yes.
before we go, we always wish you a happy birthday
Oh yes. Thank you. Thank you. Very, very much. Thank
and
you.
feel better, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
get some
man.
rest.
Dude, I don't know what happened. After I was like, happy birthday and sickness. I'm like, oh man. Yes. Welcoming it right. Welcoming it in right. But anyway, thanks for having me on, man. It's always a pleasure. I can't
Yeah,
wait to get this thing wrapped up and hear how it concludes, dude.
yeah,
Because this is
yeah, and
epic.
yeah, it's crazy, man. It does ramp
Yeah,
up a
man.
little bit, and it's some of the stuff is just nuts, man. I don't get it,
That's
but hey, you know. But
yep.
yeah, I gotta take my tent down a little bit, go on the move again.
Never let them know your next move, man.
Yeah, I'm out of here. It's that time. I
Yep.
got to get out of here. But hey, thanks again, Daniel, for joining
Yep.
us. Thank you all
Thanks for
for
having me.
listening and tuning in. And until next time, peace.
Later.
In a world of shadows and hidden truths, we search for answers, we chase the clues. A podcast of enigma.